And it shows how people coming together can actually make a difference, because people maybe do things without thinking, like they put it on the list because they did think it might be a good idea. And you really raise their consciousness, and that's really terrific. And I really give kudos to Food and Water Watch for actually considering the culture and seeing how important that is, because being the most isolated archipelago on Earth, I think a lot of people from other places see Hawaii as just, look at all that stuff. And without thinking about the people here.
Right.
So I'm grateful to you for raising that issue.
Oh, hey, mahalo to all of you guys, Olelo, all our brothers out there, everybody else, because mahalo for having us. This is awesome.
Well, I think it's really great to educate the community, because this is something that I think very few people know about. And I'm an environmentalist, and I was involved in making comments on the Kate's International. But I really didn't know all this other stuff that was going on, and especially that the federal government has no desire to do it because there's a lack of science. So how is that gap being addressed? The fact that we don't have enough science on, what the impacts are. What is Food and Water doing research on that, or
on what the impacts would be?
Or just, is this a good idea? Is it a bad idea? And
we've been looking into what's out there. We do a lot of research, secondary research on what people are doing. And so we've put together a report called Fishy Farms, the Problems with Open Ocean Aquaculture. It's on our website at foodandwaterwatch.org.
Good.
And so you can go and find that whole report on there.
foodandwaterwatch.org.
And we've been presenting this material. We go and we speak with decision makers on Capitol Hill and let them know what's going on. And there's still a push for open ocean aquaculture at the national level, but Congress is divided on it. And you've got Congress at one point in 2007 saying no, but you've got the Department of Commerce going around their backs through these council processes and trying to introduce it. And so there's the question there of what's going on. And then it still could come up again as national legislation, at which point everybody should start being very aware about it and looking to Hawaii. And that's one of the reasons we're so interested in finding out what's going on here, is because not only is this going on here, but it could start happening all over the country. And so that's why it's so important to find out. Well, they're going to tell us that they did this and they had these studies, but we want to find out what's really happening. And so coming down here, meeting Kale and finding out all these cultural impacts and saying, we didn't think of that before, really.
Yeah.
I mean, we're thinking about it now because we came out to a local resource council meeting and Kale raised some amazing questions. And we were like, we didn't even know that was happening with Kona Blue.
Wow.
And so we're taking that back then also to the mainland to speak with people and say, this is what's going on for real down there, not just the reports that you're getting from people who are being paid to do them, or people who are receiving money to go do the research.
That was my next question about the science that is out there. Is it the paid for science, or is it real science?
There seems to be a revolving door between the people who get money from the government to do research on these and the ones who enter into the industry.
This sounds like the
people who
GMO
are doing
issue.
the environmental consulting.
Let me just finish the thought. For people that are out there that are looking to get involved and see what they can do personally, the first thing is that look for some of the initiatives that will be coming up with the legislature, because when bills start coming up, we're going to need your help for you to come out and testify in favor of the bills, to support it, and also to provide any kind of information that you may have that can support these initiatives in terms of funding and restoring the Hawaiian fish ponds. And this is going to be important because we have some legislators that are very supportive, and they're looking to draft legislation in order to help what we're doing. And so for those of you out there that would like to help, you can contact Food and Water Watch and so forth, and we need to start to gather the momentum and volunteers out in the community.
Great. So let's go back to the food that's shot into the cage. That really gets me.
Yeah.
What is it?
So it's made of a bunch of different things. Kali was saying earlier that they have to take wild fish out of the ocean in order to feed these fish because they're not growing herbivorous fish. They're growing fish that have to eat other fish. You have to get that protein from somewhere. And one of the ways they do it is they take what's menhaden and anchovies and small fish out of the ocean and grind it up and make it into pellets through fish meal and fish oil. Another thing that they're doing, because they have faced the criticism that you're taking a lot of fish out of the ocean, you're depleting the food source for the wild population. Not so smart.